Okay, in this video I'm going to go through quadratic equations using completing the square. So you probably know completing the square from GCSE. So if you have something like x squared plus bx, okay, then when you complete the square it becomes x plus b over 2 squared minus b over 2 squared. Okay, so just to give you an example, if it's x squared plus 10x, that's same as x plus 5 squared minus 5 squared. So that's same as x plus 5 squared minus 25. You don't need to write that step, you can do it directly, the 25 here. Even if it's a minus number, so let's say x squared minus 8x, that's same as x minus 4 squared minus 4 squared. So that's same as x minus 4 squared minus 16, because minus 4 squared is plus 16, but this minus still makes it minus there. Okay, so that's what completing the square is. You can also complete the square using, basically if there are three terms, you can still complete the square. So I'll show you. So if we have a question, let's say x squared plus, let's say x squared minus 6x plus 1, okay, let's say that equals 0, so let's do equation straight away. So that means x minus 3 squared minus 3 squared plus 1 equal to 0. So I've done x minus 3 because that's half of minus 6, and then take away the minus 3 squared plus 1. Okay, so that becomes x minus 3 squared minus 9 plus 1 equal to 0. So that's x minus 3 squared minus 8 equal to 0, just simplifying. And then x minus 3 squared equals to, if we take this minus 8 to this side, it becomes plus 8. So x minus 3 equals to square root of 8, and that can be plus or minus, obviously. So x equals to, if you take this 3 to this side, it becomes plus 3 plus or minus root 8. So that is x equals to 3 plus root 8, or 3 minus root 8. If you want, you could actually write this as x equals to 3 plus 2 root 2, or 3 minus 2 root 2, because square root of 8 is 2 root 2 in third form. Okay, so that's that. So that's how you solve a quadratic equation, by completing the square. I hope that's clear. So let's go through this again. So you go x squared minus 6x plus 1 equal to 0, x minus 3 squared minus 3 squared minus 3 squared plus 1 equal to 0, but after completing the square, and then you just simplify. So x minus 3 squared minus 9 plus 1 equal to 0. So x minus 3 squared minus 8 equal to 0. Take the 8 to that side, take the square root of both sides, and then bring the 3 across, simplify, and that's your answer. It's very simple. Okay, maybe you can pause the video and just go through the steps and see what I've done. If you don't understand any particular step, just write a comment or send me a mail using the message, and I'll try and explain it to you. So now you might wonder what happens if this middle number is not an even number, because an odd number is not divisible by 2. Well, nothing happens. All you have to do is just keep it as a fraction. So for example, if it was 7, it goes as 7 over 2, because half of 7 is 7 over 2. Try not to get decimals involved, because it's much easier to deal with fractions when it comes to squaring a number rather than decimal. But if I ask you what's 3.5 squared, not many of you probably know what it is. So that's why it's better to keep it as a fraction, because 3.5 is same as 7 over 2, but 7 over 2 squared is 49 over 4. So it's easy to square a fraction. So let's do a question. So let's do x squared minus 7x, okay, let's say plus 7x, minus 3 equal to 0. Okay, so now let's complete the square. So this becomes x plus half of 7 is 7 over 2 squared minus 7 over 2 squared. Okay, so don't worry about what it is at the moment, just write it like that. And then the minus 3 equal to 0. Okay, and then x plus 7 over 2 squared minus 49 over 4, because 7 squared is 49, 2 squared is 4. Okay, and then the minus 3. Okay, I can write the minus 3 here, that's not a problem, but you can see this is in terms of quarters, or the denominator is 4. So if I put this under the denominator 4, it becomes minus 12 over 4, right? Because 12 over 4 is minus 3, right? So I haven't really changed anything. I've just changed the denominator there, so I can add these two numbers up. You can do it in a separate step, but you got to think ahead, try and be smart, try and save time and space by doing that. Okay? So now if I just simplify, so it becomes x plus 7 over 2 squared minus 49 minus 49 minus 12 is minus 61 over 4 equal to 0. So let me just finish off here. So that becomes, so if I take this minus 61 to the other side, so it'd be x plus 7 over 2 squared equals to 61 over 2 plus or minus. The 61 I can't square root, but the 4 I can, so I made it into a 2. Now x equals to minus 7 over 2 plus or minus root 61 over 2. So x equals to minus 7 plus root 61 over 2, or minus 7 minus root 61 over 2, and that's my answer. So let me just go to the last couple of steps because you might be confused what's going on here. First of all, I square rooted this fraction. So square root of 61 I can't do, I left it as square root of 61. But square root of 4 is 2. Okay, the plus or minus still remains, and then when you bring this over to this side, it becomes minus 7 over 2. And then you can see these are under the same denominator too. So now we can write minus 7 plus root 61 all over 2, or minus 7 minus root 61 all over 2, because this is a plus or a minus. And that's it. So that is completing the square. Now you can have slightly complicated versions of these questions in the exam, and all you have to do, you have to simplify it into a form where you can complete the square and then solve the equation like what we have done. Sorry, I rubbed it off very quickly, so if you want to copy it down, you can go back and pause the video and copy it down. That's not a problem. So let's complicate matters. So in all these questions we've done so far, we had an x squared term to start with. So let's say we have 2x squared minus 3x plus 1 equal to 0. Now how do we complete the square here? Now this one actually factorizes, but obviously we are doing completing the square. So what you do, you need to make this term x squared. In order to do that, I divide everything by 2. So if you divide the entire equation by 2, so 2x squared divided by 2 is x squared, minus 3x divided by 2 is minus 3x over 2, and then plus 1 divided by 2 is plus 1 divided by 2, 0 divided by 2 is still 0. So all of a sudden we got a new equation now, but it's the same equation but in a different way. The only difference is we have fractions here. Now when you complete the square, this becomes x minus, so half of 3 over 2, well, half times 3 over 2 is 3 over 4. So it will be 3 over 4 squared minus 3 over 4 squared. Remember, you just square that and take away. And then plus 1 over 2 equal to 0. Okay? So then we have x minus 3 over 4 squared minus 9 over 16. Okay? Because 3 over 4 squared would be 9 over 16. Now half is same as 8 over 16. So like we did in the last question, try and match this denominator here so it's easier for you. You can change any fraction into any denominator, right? So half is same as 8 over 16. So now we can add them up as you see. So that means x minus 3 over 4 squared. So minus 9 over 16 plus 8 over 16 is just minus 1 over 16 equal to 0. Okay? So if I just finish it here. So if I take this 1 over 16 to the other side, so x minus 3 over 4 squared equals to 1 over 16. So x minus 3 over 4 equals to square root of, so plus or minus square root of 1 over 16. Okay? Now you can see 1 and 16 both are square numbers, so we can actually square root it. So x minus 3 over 4 equals to plus or minus square root of 1 is 1, square root of 16 is 4. So x equals to 3 over 4 plus or minus 1 over 4. So x equals to 4 over 4. Well, let me just rewrite that. So x equals to 3 plus 1 over 4, or 3 minus 1 over 4. So that means 4 over 4, or 2 over 4. Okay? So that equals to 1 or half. And that's your answer. So is that clear? I hope that's clear. You can try and make some questions yourself and do them. You might find in some cases there is a minus number under the square root, and in the next video I'll tell you why that happens. So until then, I'll leave it here.